Hello everyone. Today in this chapter we will study about squares and square roots. Now when we talk about the term squares, we write the number like 2 square, like a number 14 square, like a number 12 square and so on. When I am saying a square, this actually means that the number is being multiplied by the same number. So 2 multiplied by 2, so 2 square becomes 4. Here, when I am saying 14 square, that means 14 has to be multiplied by a number 14 and this multiplied by this comes out to be 196. If I am talking about 12 square, so this is 12 multiplied by 12 and here it is 144. So same way we know these are the squares. From squares we have to understand one thing very well, that these are the positive numbers we are talking about. And suppose instead of positive numbers, I say that what is the square of minus 3. So this is mean that minus 3 has to be multiplied by minus 3. We know that if two negative terms are being multiplied, the answer is plus and 3 multiplied by 3 comes out to be 9. So minus 3 square is 9 as well as 3 square is also 9. So we are saying that the 3 square or minus 3 square both are equal. 2 square is also equal to minus 2 whole square. 14 square is also equal to minus 14 square, or same way we can find out about all the numbers. Now, when we talk about squares, then there is one more thing, that how we calculate these squares. This we will tell in the later video, that how we can calculate the square of number like 41, 71, 81 orally. This we can easily calculate. Because here also, if it is 14 square, we can put it like this and solve it from the algebraic aspect. So this way we can solve the value of squares. Now, if we come to the square root, then square root is basically denoted by a sign like this. When we know that 2 square is 4, then the square root of 4 is equals to 2. When I am saying the square root of 4, this is also known as under root. Under root or square root are the same terms. This is under root of 4 is 2. But because we know that 2 square is 4 as well as minus 2 square is also 4. So the under root of 4 cannot be only positive, it is plus 2 or it can be written as negative 2. In the lower classes, we only study about plus 2. But in the higher classes, we also study about a term like minus 2. Suppose we have to calculate the square root of a number like 196. Here we know that 14 square is 196. So it is very clear that the under root of 196 is equals to either plus 14 or it is minus 14. So both are the answers for the under root of 196. Now the question arises, how we solve it? First of all, we take a double pair from the right hand side towards the left hand side, and if there is only one digit, we take 1. If there are 2 digits, then we take both the digits as the pairs. So it is the pairing. First of all, we have to make the pairing in these numbers. When I am making a pairing, it is 1, 1 the 1. Here it comes out to be 0. This 1 has to be multiplied by 2. Any number which is there has to be multiplied by 2, comes out to be here. So it is 2. Here we take the number 96. In the case of division, we take one digit in the division method. But here we take a pair of number in the finding the square root of a method. Now we have to get a number 96. When we multiply some number here by a digit here. So if we take 4 and 4, 24 multiplied by 4 comes out to be 96, and further we can cancel that out. So this number 14 is the square root of a number or under root of a number 196. Now there are certain things which are very, very important. The first is, these numbers have the perfect answer like 14 or minus 14. But if I want to find out the square of 195, we know that 1 can be on the tens place, but here 95 will not be cancelled out by any number, so this number does not have any perfect answer. That is why I am saying that under root of 195 cannot be a perfect number, or to this I can say this is not a perfect square. So when we talk about the perfect squares, these are basically the square of 1, square of 2, square of 3, 4, 5 and so on. These are known as perfect squares, but these are not known as the perfect square. Like if we talk about a number like 2, under root 2, talk about a number like under root 1, under root 4, under root 9, under root 2, 3, 5. So these numbers have a perfect under root. 1 under root is 1, 4 under root is 2, 9 under root is 3. Here we can write plus 1 and minus 2, plus 2 and minus 2, plus 3 and minus 3. But we know that the square of 3 is exactly 9. But there is no number whose square is exactly 2. Or the under root of 2 does not have a perfect answer. That is why it is not written as the perfect square. So perfect squares are basically the under root of 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, which are the perfect squares are known as perfect squares because they have a specific answer for a under root. While 2, 3, 5, all these numbers are also known as irrational numbers, which we have already discussed in our decimal chapter. Or these are also known as non-terminating, non-repeating decimals. Now the question arises that whatever the perfect squares are there are certain rules and regulations for it. First is, if I take a square of 1, it is 1. If I take a square of 10, it is 100. If I take a square of 100, it is 10,000, 1 with 4 zeros. If I am talking about a square of 1000, it comes out to be 1 with 6 zeros. This shows that a single digit number, definitely from 1 to 10, all the numbers which are there in between are single digits. Single digits. So a single digit number, square of the number must be either a single digit or a 2-digit number. It is not possible that a single digit square is of 3-digit number as the answer. If I talk about the numbers between 10 and 100, they all are 2-digit numbers. And the square of all 2-digit numbers are either 3 digits or 4 digits. Because this is the lowest 5-digit number. If we look at the numbers between 100 and 1000, then they are all 3-digit numbers. And the square of all 3-digit numbers must lie between these two, or these are 5 or 6-digit numbers. So this is the first thing, that the under root of either 1-digit or 2-digit number must be a single digit. The under root of 3-digit or 4-digit number must be a 2-digit number. The under root of 5-digit or 6-digit number must be a 3-digit number. So and so on. Second thing is that every perfect square cannot have 2, 3, 7 or 8 at the units place. Units place. When I say that every perfect square, none of the perfect square have 2, 3, 7 or 8 at the units place. So if I am saying there is a number like 1, 5, 3, 2, 7, and we have to see whether it is a perfect square or not. We are very clear that this number is not a perfect square because the unit digit is 7. If in case there is any number whose unit digit is either 2, 3 or 7 or 8, definitely we can say they are not the perfect squares. Second thing is, in a perfect square, at the end, the number of zeros must be in pair. Or I can say 400 can be a perfect square, but 4000, because there are 3 zeros, they are not in pairs, can never be a perfect square. The third thing is that if in the units digit it is 5, then the tens digit or the digit before that must be 2 for a number to be a perfect square. If in case the last digit is 5 and this digit is anything except 2, definitely it is not a perfect square. So there are certain rules for the number to be a perfect square. Now we come to how to find the perfect square or square root of a number. This is one of the methods. This is known as long division method. There can be one more method which is known as the factorization method. We do the factors of this number. We divide it by 2. It comes out to be 98. Then again we divide it by 2. It comes out to be 49. When we divide it by 7, comes out to be 7. Again divided by 7, comes out to be 1. So we can say the number 196 has the factors as 2, 2, 7 and 7. These are the prime numbers which are the factors of this. We take them in pairs. So 2 multiplied 7 is basically the under root of a number like 196. So any number which has there can be solved in two different ways. One is this, which is known as long division method, and one is this, which is known as prime factorization method. But we generally prefer this method to solve the question of square roots, and this method is not much applicable because if we take any number like 1, 8, 4, 9 and we have to find out the under root of this number. Finding the under root of this number is possible by a long division method because basically the under root of this number comes out to be 43 and 43 is a prime number. So if we try to solve it by the prime factorization method, it is very difficult to solve, to cancel 1849 or to divide 1849 from a number like 43. So it is very complicated in this case. So we always prefer long division method to be solved in the case of square roots. In the next video, I will tell you that why we do this and how we get to the answer by using this long division method in the next video.